Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Andrea, and in this channel we talk all things teaching, online teaching, business, ed tech, mindset, and a bit of traveling and everything that basically interests me. So if any of those topics interest you, then consider subscribing. In today's video, you may have already guessed what we're going to be talking about because it's in the title. I'm going to be talking about the good, the bad, and the ugly of working abroad as a teacher. Specifically as an English teacher, because those are the jobs that I've basically done in the past that have allowed me to work abroad. This video, I'm pretty sure it's going to be a long video, so if you want to make yourself a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, or grab a beer, whatever you want to do, because I will be addressing several topics that I've been meaning to talk for quite a while now, but I have recently found the energy to talk about them. So let's talk about them. So this video is going to be divided into three areas, major areas. So the good things, the bad things, and the ugly. Okay, and I'm not saying that this will always happen. I'm saying that these things have happened to me or have happened to people that I know, friends that I know whom have worked with me in the past or who are working with me now, or people whom I followed who have experienced these things. So let's start with the good things. I have my notes here. You cannot see it, but my computer is here, so I'm going to be reading my notes. The first thing I would say that it's a big plus is accommodation. So really, depending on your contract, you may be provided accommodation by your company, and in the sense of they will either look for a place for you to live, and then they will give you the options that you can of course choose from, and these flat or house or whatever can be in a shared house, or you can just live there on your own. This is completely up to you, but it also depends on the contract. For example, when I was living in Moscow, I had to share my flat with another teacher. So we both had our own bedrooms, but we had to share the common areas. And this is something that can go well or can go extremely wrong. But we're going to be discussing that in a different video. If you want me to talk about my experience in Moscow in more detail, then make sure to comment down below, and I'll make sure to make a video about that. So yeah, that's one thing that can happen. And also, for example, when I was in Moscow, I did not have, my salary or my contract, let's say, already included accommodation. So it's not like at the end of the month I had to pay for it, because it was already paid. And this also included the bills, like electricity bill, water bill, any type of bill, except for internet. But as I had an amazing phone plan, actually, like a data plan in Moscow, I didn't pay for Wi-Fi. I just used my phone, and then if I had to use my computer for something, I would just hotspot. So that's also something that has happened to me. But it can also happen elsewhere. I know from a friend who has worked, from a colleague who has worked in Poland, that their company rented out flats. And what she told me was that she lived alone. So that was a great thing. But for us, when I used to work in Moscow, we would have to share our flats, and you don't get to choose your flatmate, which again, kind of sucks a bit, because you don't know who you're gonna end up living with. But yes. So that's in terms of accommodation. Or you can also be sent a list of places where you can choose from, And then once you get to choose from like these places, then once you get to the place, you will have to pay for rent. So it means that it's not included in your contract. The searching part is included, but not paying for your flat or anything else. And of course, like the electricity bill, any type of bill that is necessary for you to, like, of course, live in a place, that's completely up to you. That also has like its downsides, but I'm gonna talk about that more like specifically in a different video. The second good thing, from my perspective, is that you will be sponsored. You will be sponsored a visa. And that will be extremely helpful, especially if you don't have the right passport. What I mean about that is the fact that there are certain passports that are eligible to work in certain places and others aren't. I have an Argentinian passport, and if I have to work anywhere in the world, I would need to be sponsored a visa, or I would need to find a way to get a visa. So yeah, that's one of the things. Like, if these countries allow people from your country to get work visas, you will be, it's highly likely that you're going to be sponsored a work visa, and you will be able to go and live in that country with all the proper documents, let's say. I can talk about visas in a different video. Just let me know down below if you would like me to talk about that, or if you have any questions. Another great thing would be management, and this was something that I had a lot of time, like I spent a lot of time figuring out if this was going to be like a good thing or a bad thing or an ugly type of thing. But let's put this on the good side, and I'm just going to talk about the good side of management, because it doesn't always have a good side. But it really depends on where you go. But sometimes you will have mentors and senior teachers and assistant director of studies and director of studies who go all the way to help you, and who will be there for you in, like, academically speaking, professionally speaking, but also in terms of whatever you need to get everything settled in a different country. And it has happened that, for example, sometimes they organize events so that you can meet and get to know each other, and you get to know other teachers whom you might not be familiar with, especially if you work in different places. So that is also a good thing, especially if you have supportive managers, because I think that more often than not, having a good manager or having good managers is essential for teachers to stay and to like the job and to like a place. And yes, so I more often than not, when you go abroad, the people who are the managers are usually very qualified, and again, they try to do everything they can to help you. This doesn't mean that it's always like that, but I'm just gonna say that I have mixed feelings about this topic. Because I have had great managers. I have had people whom I look up to a lot, and I have had people who should have never gotten those positions. So anyways, again, more often than not, they're good people, and they're gonna be there to help you. It isn't always like that, though. Now, my fourth point is that you have the opportunity to live in a different country or in a different city. So for me, from my perspective, I have lived in 2 countries so far, Russia and Italy, which is where I am right now. And I'm gonna say that you get to experience a lot of things that you wouldn't have experienced like if you were just like a tourist or if you were like in the country for like a month, which is one of the good things that I'm gonna say that I get, or that I've learned, that I have gotten from these experiences. You get to know a different culture. Sometimes you get to know a different language. This one like really depends. And you get to visit places that you may have just seen on pictures or in videos. And I don't know, there is always something about that that I love. I remember that my first day, let's say, yeah, it was my first day in Moscow. I think I woke up, it was like a 36-hour flight, and I woke up after like 14 hours of sleep. And I woke up after like 14 hours because I got to my flat, and it was like I fell asleep at like 10 p.m. and then I woke up at like 4 p.m. the next day. And I remember that one of the first things that I did, I didn't even know the language, but I was like brave enough to like go get on the metro and go to St. Basil's Cathedral. I might like leave a picture somewhere here if I found one. I might leave a picture somewhere here if I find one. But I think that seeing places in real life that I had only seen like in books at that time was like it made everything worth it. And this is also good in terms of there is always something new that you can do around the city. But it also depends on where you're living. For example, where I am living, there's nothing, but basically you really have to like travel to other cities so that you can get to know different places, because this town is small. But for example, when I was living in Moscow, there was always something that you could visit during the weekend. So it made your like workload, or it made your like the made your job like easier, because you would work like from Mondays to Fridays, and then on Saturdays and Sundays you got to explore. But if you live in a very small town, it can be a bit overwhelming and a bit boring, because it feels as if you are just working from Monday to Fridays, and Saturdays and Sundays you're just resting, especially if if there's nothing else to do, or if you don't make any friends. Okay, and the fifth thing I'm gonna say about the good side, or like the good things of living in a different city, is that, and it also depends on, again, like the city, but you also get healthcare benefits. I remember I was once I was doing an interview, and the interviewer told me that she had lived in South Korea in the past, and that one of the things that she liked the most was basically like the healthcare benefits. So she got a lot of stuff for free or very inexpensive, and I think that that's basically a great benefit. Here in Italy, I have my tesera sanitaria, which is basically like my health card, and I go to the doctor. I don't know why he never charges me. Like, I've never paid for the doctor. I know that people pay, but I've never paid, which is like kind of, I don't know, like I have never paid for the doctor here. Yet I have had to pay for like getting tests done, like blood tests done, and yeah, all of that. And that is not cheap. Especially like if you're on a teacher salary, it's not cheap. It's like, it's gonna be like 10% of your salary if you have to do that. The good thing is I don't have to do that often, so that's great, I guess. But yeah, some countries do have more healthcare benefits than others. And when I was living in Moscow, I didn't have, fortunately, I didn't need to like call a doctor for something, but I had also paid for, what do you call it, like travel insurance? Yeah. In case something happened. But I know from a friend of mine, she had to go to she had to see a doctor because she was not feeling pretty well, and the language barrier was something that she experienced that, and basically like not knowing what was happening, she was just told what she needed to take, and that's it. So yeah, but I'm gonna talk about that at the end. So those are some of the good things of living in a different country when you're working as a teacher. So I'm pretty sure this video is gonna be hell long, so I'm just gonna cut this and then I'm gonna upload the bad side and then the ugly side of working abroad as an English teacher or as a teacher in general. So make sure to tune in and don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. If you happen to have any questions that you'd like me to answer in a video, make sure to leave them in the comments because I'll probably be doing that over my summer holidays. Should I say summer holidays? I don't know, because like not summer holidays because I'm not working, I think, in September. I don't know. We'll see. Make sure if you happen to have any questions that you'd like me to answer, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll make sure to record a video on that, okay? So make sure to tune in and watch the next video. Bye bye!